Now, we've got something called a credit crunch, okay, and it appears that 9/11, which was a false conspiracy theory, annihilation of the centre of secret service in America. The building was on its way to collapse anyway, because it'd been bombed by some nutcase, and the structure needed replacing about 60 years, 50 years ahead of what it should have been. So they wanted to rebuild it. They couldn't afford to rebuild it, so they had some kind of accident happen. They either let the terrorists do it, or they did it themselves. A lot of people think they did it themselves and killed 4,000 American people. Right, and then, to try and make up for it and confuse people, they allowed a lot of the poor people that were whinging and complaining to get onto the property market, which kept them quiet because it got them focused in working and stopped the conspiracy theories going along, like, yeah? Now, it all fell to bits because of the way England helped America to go in and do the other countries, which needed doing anyway.
Mariners Foods makes soups,
Iraq.
sauces and ready meals for several
Iraq was taking the mickey out of President Bush's family,
this plant and another factory
and that group in that country. Iraq was taking the mickey, and they couldn't handle it. They needed to do something, slap them on the wrist or something. They needed to stop it happening, because Iraq was now getting nuclear weapons and everything. Yeah. And they got it seriously in for America for what the Americans had done to them during the Iran-Iraq war, swapping sides constantly, which was ridiculous. So there was a clean-up plan involving just Europe and America. Right? The Chinese weren't interested because it's nothing to do with them, and they're going to get through it. You understand? The Russians aren't interested because they're going to get through it. They've got a different setup to capitalism in their systems. So we've got to bail ourselves out. We've got ourselves into the crap, and we've got to bail ourselves out. Now look at this. This is today's Daily Telegraph in England. And Nick, just forget about the big number. This big number is to completely bamboozle your eyes and take your eyes away from it. This is the headline, alright? This is the real information right here. USA, they've pledged £458 billion, $800 billion. Europe, without the UK, Europe has put 1.6 trillion. Now they put the numbers up here so you can demonstrate it. You've got 1,000, 100,000, a million, a trillion. So you understand, America have done billions, Europe combined with England have done trillions, alright, and England alone has put 500 billion in, which makes, wow, you know, look how much more for saying that America want to be world leaders and set an example. Alright, who's put the most in? Individually, the UK has put the most in. You understand? Who cares more about the planet? Who's looking after the planet more? Now you yank rednecks, stop being such a bunch of racist pigheads, alright, and sort out your crap that caused for the entire planet. Global recession. We don't want a nuclear war, okay? What do you think you're doing? I wanted a new building in New York, and then I went to nuclear war for it. That is absolute childish idiocy. I think Bush is going to go down as the worst president ever. And if you want to be a world leader, mate, sort it out. It's going to cause a little bit more anarchy in the world, because there's people losing their jobs now and losing their houses and everything. You've really got to sort your crap out and realise that fighting is not going to work. You keep on getting closer and closer and closer to an idealist socialist society where people are even. But you want to keep your capitalist aristocracy crapheads at the top, so they can walk around booming. Like on Sunday, we can hear them all shooting shotguns up at the weekend because it's the hunting season. Yeah? Oh, what are they doing that for? Why on earth are they walking around with shotguns? For a start, what happens when you eat lead? Right? What happens when you eat lead? Because they pack lead into a little shotgun shell, you know, and then they shoot the bird, and then they let the lead sit in the bird while it's hanging, and then they eat it. What does that do to your brain? Hey, what does that do to your brain? Ask the scientists. Global warming, stop it. Blowing up your own buildings and blaming it on other countries, stop it. Remember the bombing of the Chinese embassy in the Serbian conflict? Stop it.